Congress has accused the federal government of using law enforcement to intimidate opposition leaders while failing to tackle widespread insecurity. They say the federal government is criminalizing opposition politics. Tonight, we shall be speaking exclusively to the former governor of Sokoto State, a former House of Reps Speaker, and a sitting senator representing Sokoto South in the National Assembly. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I am Sean Akimale here in Abuja. So much that we would like to unveil for you tonight, and in the conversation we'll be having on the state of the nation and our democracy. So sit out everyone. You already know my guest on the program tonight. All right, then we will bring that to you just in a moment. But let me tell you what the opposition leaders are saying. So the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has accused the federal government of using law enforcement to intimidate opposition leaders while failing to tackle widespread insecurity. The party condemned the summons issued to Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna, and the attack on the convoy of Abubakar Malami, former Attorney General of the Federation. In a statement released by the spokesperson of the opposition coalition party ADC, the National Publicity Secretary, Mr. Bolaji Abdullahi, described the development as an assault not just on individual politicians, on Nigeria's democracy itself. And this is how he described it exactly in the words of the opposition group. They say these acts by the police are not isolated. They represent a systemic attempt to criminalize opposition politics, especially in states where the ruling party feels threatened by the growing influence of the ADC. The ADC went further to say the federal government must redirect the focus of the Nigerian police toward their primary duty, protecting the lives and property of all Nigerians, instead of being used as a tool of political manipulation. Before we get to into the conversation tonight, let's check out some of your political roundup stories. All right, then, everyone. It does look to me that tensions are rising across Nigeria's political landscape. Opposition offices being sealed in Kaduna State. The senior figures have been summoned by the police, and fresh coalition moves are gathering momentum ahead of 2027. Well, Senator Aminu Tambuwal joins us live to speak on the state of the nation and some of the issues relating to opposition, ADC, and his summons by the FCC, the 2027 politics, and whether or not Nigeria has in the ADC an alternative to the APC ruling party at the moment. I'm being joined by the former governor of Sokoto State, former Speaker of the House, and sitting senator representing Sokoto South in the National Assembly. It's a pleasure having you, Your Excellency.
Sure, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much indeed. You were in Kaduna, I saw in those pictures there. I mean, it's against the will of the authorities to say this is because of the issue of tension. But why are you and your colleagues, why did you go ahead and hold that meeting when there are possibilities of violence which was unleashed a few days ago?
Well, thank you very much, Sharon. Let me start straight up by making reference to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the grand norm, particularly Section 39(1) and Section 40. These provisions clearly provided for freedom of expression of citizens. And of course, Section 40 clearly speaks and provides for freedom of assembly and gathering of individuals. And in most of the cases, or in most of the times, the police try to hide under the Public Order Act, which clearly its provisions are inconsistent with these provisions of the Constitution, to come hard on individuals or groups that are trying to come together to associate or to meet. In the instant case, first you need to understand that there is no need for permit from the police for a political party to have a meeting. Even where you write to the police, you notify the police. In most cases, it has to do with rallies, political rallies. And the whole idea is for the police to provide security at the rallies and to guide political parties not to have clashes on particular days and times and for them to meet at particular venues. It's just for guidance and not for the police to say you cannot meet and you can meet.
So it was in your right, I mean, so you're a lawyer, so you understand better. You think that it's in all the rights of the group, especially when the police were warning about the possibility of tension and clashes in a politically tense atmosphere. Is it still right as a law-abiding citizen to still went ahead?
No. You see, it wasn't a rally. We were there on a commemoration visit as members of the coalition to the leaders of the coalition in Kaduna State that were attacked by thugs. We were not there for a meeting. We were there just to commiserate with the leaders in Kaduna. And we did exactly that and came out, and there wasn't anything that happened.
That kind of...
So there was a misreading of the situation by the police.
But would you, do you think that those who have been invited should really go and meet the police and explain themselves, whatever the issue is?
It is shown. I am a lawyer of about 32 years standing. I'm a life bencher. I have been a member of parliament for 12 years before and now 2 years in the Senate. I'm a law-abiding citizen of this country. Whoever is invited by a constitutional authority should appear.
So El-Rufai should go and see
I will advise my brother and friend, Nasir El-Rufai, to attend to the invitation of the police. It's invitation.
But why are you are reading the invitation of the police as such, I mean, as though it is a suppression of the opposition voices?
That is separate. If I am invited today by the police on an investigation, I will appear. The interpretation and reading of meaning into the invitation is completely a different ballgame altogether. The times are interesting, and police need to be very circumspect in this going forward.
But they are not wrong in invitation.
I can't say that they are wrong in invitation.
But you just think that they need to be circumspect.
There needs to be more circumspect.
But do you think the government of the day has been fair to opposition forces?
Well, you see, Sean, we live in this country. We're all sensible. When you look at what's happening in various political parties in Nigeria today, you don't need to be told, no matter the amount of denial by whoever, including President Bola Tinubu, that they are not involved in destabilization efforts of opposition parties. It's not correct.
So you're accusing them directly that they are...
I am not accusing them. I am saying that they are involved.
In destabilizing...
In efforts aimed at destabilizing...
So the problem of the PDP, you blame it on Bola Tinubu and APC.
I am not...
The problem of Labour Party...
is I am saying that they are involved in destabilization efforts.
But you don't have facts to prove that, do you?
How do you mean by that?
I mean, do you really see them, or you just suspect? Or do you have had
You
evidence?
have heard me loud and clear, Shehu. I said I am saying. I'm not suspecting.
That means you have evidence that they
are involved in all of this.
To what end? Do you think President Bola Tinubu will be willing to collapse Nigeria's democracy, have a one-party state, and have Atiku Abubakar said is that we are driving and drifting towards an authoritarian society?
Yeah, the signs are very clear, and they are very obvious. The signs are very clear that the people in charge of our government today in Nigeria are interested in one-party state.
How would that work?
Well, it may not work. It's not in the interest of democracy. It's not in the interest of Nigeria. But that is the path they are pursuing.
Is that the Bola Tinubu that you know?
Well, from my knowledge of him, when we collaborated and worked together for democracy, he was a different person.
So there's a different Bola Tinubu now that you see in operation?
Sean, if I must say it the way I see it, I am shocked that under Bola Tinubu's watch, Nigeria is being run the way it is being run today.
So you are disappointed?
I cannot say I'm disappointed because I campaigned against him. And I went round throughout the nooks and crannies of Nigeria and told Nigerians to be wary of voting Bola Tinubu and APC in 2023. I was the DG of Atiku Abubakar campaign, and we went throughout this country and warned Nigerians against voting for Bola Tinubu and his party.
Would you say
I cannot say that I'm disappointed.
So you expected it?
Well,
so all the things that you preached against, you see happen right now?
It's clear. It's clear. It's very clear.
You look at it and you imagine that this was a Bola Tinubu that single-handedly pushed a lot of force and weight behind your speakership.
Yeah, of course. That's why I said, yes, he is appearing to be different from what I used to know of him in the past when we collaborated.
And you were in the same party before as a governor?
I was in the same party with them, but I left.
What did you see? What happened?
I saw the way APC was driving Nigeria to where it is today, as far back as in 2018. And I left in August 2018. And even when my colleagues, about 6 governors, came to me to appeal to me to remain in APC, I called them individually after my consultation. I said, look, I have not seen any clear direction, even if President Buhari of blessed memory comes back, that things will get better. I would rather pull out of the APC and allow you to go. Their concern was even whether I was going to win the election to return as governor of Sokoto. I said, look, if that is the will of God, so be it. But I better stand out to be counted as having opposed what is going on than to continue and return as governor of Sokoto State for a second term.
You must have had a very tough time, a difficult one at that. Your former political allies, your friends, now have become political opponents. And those who have helped you politically, Bola Tinubu on one and Nyesom Wike on the other hand. It's a tough one for you, isn't it?
It's collaboration. It's not anything tough. Once it is about the country. Once it is about being altruistic and nothing personal. You have never had me taking on Bola Tinubu personally. You have never had me taking on Nyesom Wike personally. We disagreed in principle on the way direction of things are going. I had no problem personally with President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, but we disagreed. And I left PDP for APC. And when I presided over the House of Representatives, we had our back and forth on so many policy issues. It wasn't personal.
But when it mattered the most, there are those who say Tambuwal left his friends. Why? Why does it look like at the very nick of the time that some of your friends need you the most?
It's not about my friendship with you. Sheon, if today, and I'm saying this with every sense of responsibility, Vice President Atiku comes in here and Nyesom Wike comes in here and requests this my phone, which is personal to me. Today, I will personally give it to Nyesom Wike.
Oh, so he's more friend to you than Atiku?
As a personal friend.
Oh.
But when it comes to leadership of this country and leadership of the people, tomorrow, not even today, I would rather support Atiku than Nyesom Wike.
So you believe in the leadership of an Atiku than a Nyesom Wike?
It's nothing personal. It's about this country. And we are seeing it clearly.
So you don't regret betraying Wike?
I have never betrayed anybody. Because it's only when you have an understanding with someone and you go against and outside that understanding that you betray him.
But he told you that he wanted to be president.
I was also running. He met me in the race. I was running for president of Nigeria. I have been in contention since 2012, 2013. My friend Nyesom Wike was not in contention then. And I remained in contention and in the political calculus of Nigeria for presidency of Nigeria since then. He decided to join in 2022. So who met who in the race?
So did he tell you he was going to run?
He gave me the indication.
But did you tell him?
That I was running?
Yeah.
He met me there.
He knew that you were running.
He knew that I was running.
But one of the things that pains Nyesom Wike is his friend. He's a very good friend, Aminu Tambuwal. When it mattered the most, he swung the votes to Atiku Abubakar. That is an everlasting political betrayal.
It's nothing personal. It's not political. It's when you say betrayal. It's when you have an understanding, and you go against understanding.
So at the time, you thought that rather go with Wike, you rather we pitch a tent with Atiku Abubakar.
Yes, it wasn't a betrayal.
And it's not about political survivor.
No. It's about the interest. I told you, it's about the interest I see, the way I see it, of the country. And I am maintaining my position that even tomorrow, I would rather support Atiku Abubakar to be president of Nigeria than support Nyesom Wike. But if it is something personal, I will do with Wike.
Do you think that you owe Bola Tinubu?
Owe him what?
Everybody knows this common story about how he helped you to become speaker.
He supported me to become speaker. Let me tell you, Shehu, we engaged with President Bola Tinubu, then Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, about 3-4 times. He had initially gave indication for the ACN caucus to support my sister, Mulukata Adeola Akanji.
Yeah.
And I went to engage him time and time again. And we ran the numbers. He saw it clearly. He is the political strategist. He saw it clearly that I was going to win. And then he was convinced that, okay, instead of him to support Mulikat, that may end up not winning, he would rather support me. And go and subtract the votes of ACN, all of them, about 50-something of them, from my votes. Add that to Mulikat, I would have still won. Do the math. I would have still won. That's not say he didn't support me.
Because there are those who say, even against your party, the alliances that Bola Tinubu stuck out for you was very significant. And there are those who say maybe you could have paid him back.
How?
With some goodwill.
You have Atiku running, you have Bola Ahmed Tinubu running. I will not support Bola Tinubu.
But if Atiku is not running, if it's Bola Tinubu against Peter Obi, for example,
then when that situation presents itself, I'll make my position clear.
Well, are you still planning to run for president?
Not at this moment.
But it's something that is still in the offing. What? But there could still be a president, Aminu Tambuwal. If you look at it, there are those who say, let the South finish the 8 years. And the PDP has said it loud and clear that there's only to the South. And you think that in all of those calculations, Atiku should still run?
There's also an argument that the South of the years that civilian rule returned to Nigeria from 1999, if you add the years of Olusegun Obasanjo, 8 years, you add the years of President Goodluck Jonathan, 6 years.
5 years plus.
5 years. 5 plus 8 is how many years?
13.
13. Plus 4 of Bola Tinubu.
Yeah, that would be
17. Add 8 years Buhari plus 2 of Yaradua. 10.
Than getting the job done than Bola Tinubu?
Oh, of course, yes.
In what way? How do you think Atiku is better than Bola Tinubu?
In many ways, in understanding the dynamics of how to run the government itself, the federal system, because Bola Tinubu had always been confined to his locality in the local environment of Lagos, with due respect. And he had never been a federal operator. He doesn't understand the federal system. Look at it. Up till now, we don't have ambassadors. Up till now. 2 years with almost 3 months into the administration. What does that tell you?
It was Jonathan that was described by the opposition as clueless. But the way you are talking right now, they say Tinubu is not Jonathan. That's what they say.
Well, they say Tinubu is not Jonathan in terms of political machinations.
But when you're saying that Tinubu does not know some things, you think that Tinubu lacks the knowledge of governance at the national level?
Not only governance, Tinubu lacks the knowledge of Nigeria as a country. He would not have been running the country.
But he's not clueless. But he lacks the knowledge.
He lacks the knowledge of how even the fabric that has the Nigerian Federation is made up.
in knowledge the nation operates. And there are those who say, look, for a long time that we've ever known that between in the currency market, there are those who argue also that we have been long reliant on just a major sector of our economy, that foreign reserve has increased dramatically. There are those who will give you a lot of argument about agriculture expert Bola Tinubu understand this issue of governance.
Sure. All of this, I've heard you. As we speak now, in my senatorial district, where I represent in the Senate, bandits have almost taken over virtually every local government.
In Sokoto?
In Sokoto.
South?
Sokoto South. 2 years plus when I left, before I left, it wasn't like that.
Is that the fault of the federal government or the state government?
The situation in Sokoto South, Sokoto East, is increasingly getting worse. So when you speak of all of this to me,
Plain
Laprawa are there, and also the banks, as I said, government, most of the people, the villages have been evacuated. They have run out of their places. Same thing in Cape local government. The youth leader of PDP in my Tambuwal local government has been kidnapped. Bodinga local government, Turenga local government, Tureta, Dengishuni, all of these local governments are affected as we speak. 2 years plus, the situation was not as bad. So when you are talking about governance, the #1 priority of any government cannot say that they are doing that, because I know what is going on at it and in my constituency.
Would you say security is just now doing? You are their leader.
Yes. My is to draw the attention of the security forces to this, and I'm doing that. And to collaborate with them.
Who are these people? Do you know them?
I don't know them. I don't know this, and I'm doing that. And to collaborate with them.
Who are these people? Do you know them?
I don't know them. I don't know them.
Are they bandits or terrorists, or who are they?
I will, in this instance case, I believe that they are bandits.
So
because Sokoto is a contiguous state, telling the security forces since 2015, 2016, that unless you are able to do simultaneous operation, cordon the areas and face these people, if you do what you are doing now, isolated, then you just disperse them into other states.
But as a former governor and now a sitting senator, a former speaker of the House of Reps, there's been this conversation around state police.
Yes.
Why has it been difficult? That conversation comes up now and time again. Why has it been difficult to be able to make a strong policy as a people, so that we can have somewhat of a permanent end to this scourge?
Most people are concerned about state police because of misuse. I am no more governor. I support state police. I support the idea of state police.
But as a governor, you did not.
I did. I supported it. What I'm saying is that I am no more governor. Assuming I'm the state governor, people will say that I want to use it against my opponents. No. And you see, yes, you have federal police, but part of the problem is that you post someone from, say, for example, Sokoto to Enugu. He doesn't understand the terrain. He doesn't understand the language. But if you have the state police, they may collaborate and work together. There may be synergy, and then they can work together to ensure that there's security. And in any case, the police, the federal police is we don't have enough in the police. We need more recruitment, more boots on the ground, both in the police and in the army.
Let me show you what the Zamfara state governor said. And it bothers the mind. This is a sitting governor, And a lot of governors that I've spoken with, in fact, some governors have told me that there are no chief security officer of their states, and the control comes from Abuja. It takes away the control that they have. For example, the governor of Zamfara State is saying it on the radio, and look at what he said. He said that, let me tell you something. I swear to God, wherever bandits are, we know, I know. I can show you on this phone whenever they are. I know, but we can do nothing. If I am the one in power to give the directives, I swear the issues will come to an end in 2 months. In 2 months, that's what he said. What do you make of this? This language infers frustration. It infers that there is a lack of synergy and understanding. Because if the governor says, I know, I see, and that if he has the power to do it, and he said, but it is my duties and responsibility, and I did, but giving vehicles out, it meant that way. But they can only be directed from Abuja. I swear to Allah, there was a time I shed tears. We see there is a need for them security operatives to be there, areas prone to bandits attacks, and protect people. They won't until they get directed from Abuja. What do you? What can you take away from that statement?
Sure. I've been governor of Sokoto for 8 years. I was confronted with security challenges, not to the magnitude in Zamfara. But I provided vehicles, Sokoto government, under my leadership, provided vehicles to the police, the general security apparatus, over 600 vehicles. Over 600 vehicles. And we were giving them monthly allowances. And every support, whatever they're doing, any special clearance operation, we support them. It's very frustrating when a governor cannot give instructions to either the commissioner of police or the brigade commander until he clears from the center. That is the reality of the situation. I'm not surprised at the way the governor of Zamfara spoke. It's out of frustration, and that is the reality on ground. I'm not holding brief for the governors, but that is their own situation.
How can we reverse this trend? What can we do to fix it? You've been governor, you're a senator, you've been speaker.
That's why I told you that I believe that we should support the idea of state police.
How will it work specially for us in terms of, I mean, you've schooled abroad. You understand how some of these things operate. What tendency or what dynamics do you think will perfectly fit the Nigerian situation?
Okay, Sean, I attended courses in schools abroad. But my primary, my secondary, my university, all in Nigeria.
Local breed.
Local breed. So, but I've been attending courses. And I've been going out of the country and seeing things, how they work in other countries, and I feel I hope how one day all of this will now be same with our situation in Nigeria. You see, you need to recruit more into the Nigerian security system. More personnel, more boots on the ground, more of empowering them with the right tools of work, their welfare, remuneration is also key. When a soldier, a policeman, a DSS personnel gets killed on the battlefield, what happens to his family? This welfare scheme should go beyond their own immediate selves. It should cover also what happens to their families. When you get this right, with the right splitted teams, you can confront this.
Give me a moment, Governor Tambuwal. We need to go on a break, and when we return, our conversations continue with Governor Aminu Tambuwal, former Sokoto State Governor, sitting in